Tecno been in the market for the past 60 years.
More. The motto of the company to use your today capabilities mixed with the experience we already made in the past. With the mission to create innovative and technological friendly furniture for the offices of the future.
So what is the future of the workspace?
Nobody wanted anymore a typical office. We introduced the phone booths right before COVID. You can take the table, you can scream inside, you can break the table, and hopefully nobody listen to you.
But then everything has to be so ergonomic. Do you guys work a lot with ergonomic things?
Yeah. Making a desk is not a value. Suggesting how to handle can be a value in the next maybe 20 years, 30 years, I don't know. That's the challenge.
How do you approach sustainability?
It's very important for us as a company to be compliant with all the regulations. Unfortunately, furniture is not a friendly... Start from the end. What happens at the end of the life cycle of this product? Can we recycle all? Yes. Easily?
What's the next innovative object, in your opinion?
It's going to be something integrating everything and enable you to work wherever you want to work. Innovation is something which can be used and pursued by few who understand innovation.
Hi, Shad.
Hi, Valeria. How are you doing?
Good.
Week treated us good this time.
Well,
Talk to myself.
It treated you well. I feel like I need a Friday so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on a good note, we have a very interesting guest today.
Yeah.
Giorgio Secchi, CEO of Tecno. Very innovative company that producing cutting-edge office furniture for the past 60 years.
I mean, yeah, it's an OG company, no?
Yeah.
It's an OG company, but Mr. Secchi, he's relatively new in the company, right?
Well, I guess so. Hi, Giorgio. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure.
We're super happy to have you here. I mean, you're almost brand new within the company.
Almost.
Almost.
I joined the company a few months ago,
Okay.
so I could say I'm brand new. But before I used to work for Tecno. It was 15 years ago, a little bit more. Probably.
So it's your second.
It's my second chance.
Second
chance. So I used to work with Tecno. It was at other ages, and I used to work as an export manager. So I was traveling for Tecno, and I was taking care of overseas market. So I had the chance to bring Tecno to United States, to Asia, to the Far East.
Oh, wow.
It was interesting.
So what made you accept or take up on this journey of, or challenge or chance to become
This new
the
role.
CEO?
Well, this is a good question. Well, I'm in a design business or furniture business for a long time now. And I started with Tecno. Before joining Tecno, I was a typical guy coming back from a longest time experience in China, looking for a new job, etc., etc. And Tecno came in, and I didn't know Tecno before. So I was like, okay, let's see it. And I was so enthusiastic to discover the history behind, the glory of the brand, and traveling with the Tecno in my backpack was so nice because everybody was knowing the company, the history, pieces of the design we did in the past. So it has been such a nice experience for me. And after Tecno, I went in Poltrona Frau and other companies. So when the shareholders came to me and say, Giorgio, we are looking for a new CEO, and can you be interested in the opportunity? I was, very, very proud because it's when somebody asks you to run its own company, it's always a pleasure, and a question of esteem,
Of course.
I like it. And then I asked more information about the company because being for so long on the market, it's nice, but also complicated. So there are a lot of things to...
Things have changed, yeah.
Yeah, new challenges, something which was so nice and cute in the past, not obviously as the same as today. So the challenges presented to me were nice, good for a manager like me looking for new experiences, and the brand was amazing. So,
of course,
it was like a rhetorical question to me. You want to take the challenge for Tecno. So I've been proud, and I said, yes, when can I start? So
that's so exciting. So Tecno been on the market for the past 60 years, right?
More than 60.
Even more than 60 years. How about the core values of the company? Have they changed? Have they shifted? Or what are the core values of Tecno at the moment?
This is a good question. I would answer no. Generally, no to your question. Tecno was born in 53, so 71
Wow.
years ago. Yes, and before the same family was doing furniture as well. So if you put together the family before and the born of Tecno in 53, it's 100-year history
Oh,
of
wow.
the family. So, but in 53 they shift to generic furniture to office. So they created Tecno with the mission to create innovative and technological friendly furniture for the offices of the future. So that was the mission, and also the name. They chose to call it Tecno, differently from many other Italian company in the same period. They just call it with the surname of the family.
Yeah.
The family behind Tecno is named Borsani, and is still there. Still a very well-known family in the area.
Yeah.
But they choose to call it Tecno because they were pretty much into the engineering environment of the era. They were very well connected to Pirelli, which is a brand you know.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of Tecno came from technology, from engineering. And the idea was to put together this knowledge, this will to use engineer as a friendly way to adapt furniture for your office and to, at the end of the day, to produce something, of course.
Yeah.
And this is still true today. It changed because the world changes so much from 1953 to today. But the idea behind the company today, in 2024, is still the same. You come to me with a challenge, with an idea, with a project, and I go back to my team, or whoever is following the project, go back to the team, and I engineer what you're saying. It can be easy, it can be like a sofa or a lounge chair, or it can be something very complex. But it's always engineering. So I think the backbone of the company stayed the same.
Okay, that's very interesting. I didn't know a lot of facts about Tecno history actually.
We went both of us together, no?
Yeah.
To Tecno's show during
During
Salone.
last Milan,
Yeah.
during Salone.
Very, very interesting. When we saw this amazing table.
Yeah, from Sir Norman Foster.
Yep. It's the one you mentioned is the new table designed by Sir Norman Foster, named Cosmos.
Cosmos,
It's a
yeah.
table,
Cosmos.
also system. It comes with the bookshelves and the library and other things we are now engineering. So it's the last project we did with him. But before, in 1986, we did the Nomos table, which is a masterpiece of design, Compasso d'Oro, etc., etc., with the same idea. There is to being honest, there is a difference between this project with Norman Foster and the previous one, and this is the only reason why I like more the original one in the '86. It's because that comes from a project. So this is true for.
So it was designed specifically for a project,
yeah.
And then you put it into production.
Exactly, and this is true for every design company. When something comes from a project, it's normally a success.
Why do you think that?
Because it solves a problem. It solves a need from someone. Someone smarter than me, like Norman Foster, Jean, whoever he wants, asked himself, I have to solve this need. And there's nothing on the market today that can solve this need. So I have to come to Tecno or Sina or so many nice companies in the world and sit down with them and understand how to solve this problem. And then the project becomes a product, and the product becomes something useful for people. So I like this is a long answer to your question, but this is the way we normally work. We sit down with people like Norman Foster or many others, and we try to solve problem and to understand. Cosmos is not based on a specific project, not yet, but the cooperation with Sir Norman Foster about this project was still on the problem-solving base, because he wanted to challenge us in the way to create a table and making a certain kind of connection smoother for the system, the table, the library. So it was still a challenge for us, technical challenge for us. So it's something we will push in the future with a lot of pleasure. And having the name of Norman Foster, it's always
Of course, yeah.
would help.
Would you say that this is how you guys develop furnitures in general, or how do you guys put the focus of the technical aspect into making sure that you guys are always on the top run when it comes to creating new furnitures with the high technology?
Yeah, to innovation.
Innovation is experience. We look back at the past. The people we have in our team always work in the same way. Try to think about what they're doing, which is not always easy. Think about the same problem observed in the past. So how we solve it 5 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. Put all these things together and try to create a solution for the problem of today. So I think that the motto of the company to use your today capabilities mixed with the experience we already made in the past.
For the future.
For the future. Of
Yeah.
course.
So we're going all the time back to innovation because obviously techno always comes up, as you said, with such great ideas, for the clients. Well, so far.
So far.
In terms of materials, in terms of technology, how do you guys stay ahead?
Well, it's a daily business. Every day you discover something new, and 99% of what you discover is useless. So, which is very frustrating, You discover like a lot of nice startups, nice materials, nice solution. Then you try, and you understand it's something you already seen, or something doesn't work, it doesn't fit, etc., etc. So it's frustrating, interesting for the people who are on this activity, but it's daily business because you have to look at the fairs, you have to look at the university, you have to look out at your competitors, which normally are smarter than you. So if they present something interesting, your approach should be, oh wow, this solved the problem. Let me check it, and maybe I call my colleague, my friend at the end of the day, and try to understand how we solved the problem I haven't been able to solve. So it's really a daily business. But again, with what I said before, you have to consider it part of your being a techno team to always look around and try to understand.
Part of the journey, or the process.
Yeah, I was talking with my team a few weeks ago, and I was at the coffee machine, and I was regretting with someone. I hope they are not listening. On my team, and I said,
they will be listening.
Yeah. I was asking, I'm going to a fair tomorrow. I said, oh yeah, nice. I said, I'm surprised you never asked me to come. Why? Oh, I don't know. I didn't know if my principal wanted me to be there. I said, okay, but why you never came to my door and say, Giorgio, well, can I go to that fair, to the other fair? Because it should be part of your business. You are, researching. So why you are not there? So it's not only me pushing you to go there or me being there in order to understand, but you also need to have in your blood to look around.
You guys do a lot of very interesting collaborations. You've spoken about a couple of them, but then you have, for example, Foster.
Sir Norman Foster,
Sir Norman Foster. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys go and approach a collaboration, or how that comes around with techno?
Wow, it's an interesting question. I think it's more or less the same as the other design company. But again, being more on innovation and technical stuff, it's more challenging for us. Because normally, with Zadid, we did a very nice cooperation with Zadid. It's a pod, but with very, it's named Alice, so you want to look at it. It's even the look is very Zadid oriented. But they came to us and asked we came to them, or we met in some point and decided to develop something together. And they say, okay, guys, you are the smart guys, able to find solution. Can you realize something like this? Can you make it? And we started thinking with them. They started to list what they wanted to solve: sound, air conditioning, privacy. design, sustainability. So what happens the day after you disassemble it? All these things together. So we started, and this is a very, in my opinion, in my mind, is a very Greek methodology. There is a thesis made by the architect, antithesis made is by us. We want to save money, don't spend much, etc., etc. And at the end of the day, this
That's a nice
dialogue,
allegory.
it's a synthesis, and the synthesis is what it comes out. So simple.
So, in the current world, the workspaces are changing so rapidly. And how do you guys approach it? How do you adjust to this hybrid work-life model? You know, you need to have more flexibility, and office furniture is changing, whether we want it or not. We have so many co-working spaces now, so many people working from home as a hybrid way of working. How does Tecno approaches this?
Well, I think it's the same for many other company in the office business, because as you said, the habits of people are changing. We are now in Dubai, but I think it's the same everywhere in the world. So people want to stay at home a couple of days per week.
Yeah.
Company wants to save money. So if you have 100 employee, you have a 60 desk, and you organize the shifts in order to be always efficient, etc., etc. So once we understood the path is already designed, we try to shift, or we try to work with the people, with our clients, in order to mix up a little bit the ability to do offices, which is quite clear, and a little bit more of lounge furniture ability, which is still in Tecno, because we still have a lot of icons in which are furniture and not offices. So we started to work since 2020 on the balance. You need to have the work-life balance in
Of
the
course.
office. So now, before an office typically was meeting rooms, executive rooms, operative rooms, etc., etc. Now you
Breakout areas.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's more breakout, lounge, relax,
Yeah.
meeting room, different from the previous one. Desk, but not owned by someone. You know, you change your desk every day. We have a lot of lockers, which is an argument, because if you change your desk every day,
Yeah.
you have to put your stuff somewhere, because you leave your desk, you get your stuff, you don't want to bring it back home and the day after change desk. So they normally, like,
It's amazing because you can keep it clean at all times.
so it needs to be clean. It needs to be clean. This is a very good attitude. But also, the understanding that that was becoming an argument was very important for us, because nowadays office people are more willing to invest in lockers rather than in operative desk, maybe. So we have our own system, which is something wasn't existing 5 years ago. So how we do it, looking at what's happening all around the world, trying to understand. And what I think it's most important for us, talking with designers.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, designers are the real visionary of the business.
Yeah. Always good to get a feedback from the
Exactly. So if
firsthand,
you talk with them, rather than trying to impose your ideas, they will give you ideas of the office for the next 3, 4, 5 years, because they are already thinking about it.
Right.
Same for the offices, for the airports, for everything.
So what would you say be the next generation of workspaces?
Great question.
Good question. I
Yeah,
would
that's
wish
a
if I
good-
know
yeah.
it.
Yeah, but I'm just curious because this is what we do as well, right? We do design now offices as well, and this is the offices for big corporations. And I'm curious, what is it? What is the future? Is it the co-working spaces? Because we do have a lot of now breakout areas, a lot of areas, little pods where you can go and you just be yourself. So what is the future of the workspace?
It's, in my opinion, is still a little bit unpredictable. I mean that from a certain point of view, I see a lot of companies, especially in the northern part of Europe, willing to go deep and deep the idea of smart working, having an office which is not an office. It's like an agora. I go on with the Greek.
Yeah.
So in that case, you have to give them the ability to to work on the agora. So give lounge, give places to relax, maybe even a bedroom, I don't know, gym, whatever, kitchens.
Yeah.
So that's the trend, which is really, really on the market today.
Wellness.
Well, but there is another trend. Some others, like Americans, but not only them. Even in Italy, is somehow it's happening. They're saying, okay, smart working. No, I like people staying in the office 5 days per week. Think about Tesla. Because smart working was nice and appreciated by everyone until everybody was growing.
Yeah.
Now big corporations are slowing down. So they want to save money. They're getting nervous about people, what they're doing. Are they doing the best at home, or are they watching Netflix for the day, all day and try to answer a couple of emails? So there are two different trends on the market today. One is in a direction, and the other one is, no, let's get back to the past a little bit. Maybe not like in 5 years ago, 6 years ago, but we don't want to be too extreme with the idea of work-life balance. This is an office, you have to work. So I'm still, in the between. So strategically speaking, as a company, we are still thinking at the office in a quite traditional way.
Okay.
But with an eye of what can happen.
But with some breakout areas, right?
Yes, always.
Well, what was the biggest change when COVID hit, you feel, with the work-life balance or workspaces? What was the biggest change that you guys saw that was the demand from clients or from designers?
Well, I said before, nobody wanted anymore a typical office. So everybody wanted to add something new, something never asked before, like lockers. What do you need lockers? 6 years ago, think about an office company here in Dubai. Why do you have to have lockers? You have your own desk, you put your stuff on desk, and the day after is there and there and there. Now, even if you do 1 day of smart working per week, the company will shift your desk.
Oh, wow.
So lockers, common area, phone booths, which is something we have been innovative. We introduced the phone booths right before COVID, so it has been a lucky choice.
Yeah.
But
It's a big thing now,
it
isn't
is.
it?
It is. There are nice company doing amazing nice phone booth. For us, it's a marginal product. So we produce phone booths inside the big project as a part of a big project.
Is that why you have Cosmo? You can move it around as you like. You don't
Exactly.
need to stay.
And you
on
lock
one
your
and-
things and
You don't need to stay in one and the same place. You could just take the table with you.
You can take the table, you can scream inside, you can break the table, and hopefully nobody listen to you.
hopefully.
If we did the right job. But think about the phone booth. 5 years ago, 6 years ago was something not interesting. You are in the design business, so nobody was asking. Maybe some wise company, because open spaces are not the best place to work. So if you need to call someone, it's better to have a phone booth. But today, everybody's asking for phone booths. Everybody's asking for lockers. Everybody's asking for hybrid areas.
Yeah, it's true. It's also came because of all the Zoom calls, right? So
Exactly.
a lot of meetings are remote. Hence, most of the people in the office, they require a little secluded area where you can have a quick call,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
quick meeting.
Definitely. If we treat now start to open a Teams call, it would be a nightmare, because I will not listen what I'm saying, and the same for you guys. So this is something we have already seen in the market, and we are facing in our project that are very different from before.
In Sweden, for example, they're trying now to go over to, instead of working 5 days a week, to 4 days a week.
That's in UE, it's the same now.
Yeah.
I think that we're trying to shift to a 4-day working week. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying before.
Yeah.
That's the trend on the market.
Trend on the market, but then they also, everything has to be so ergonomic. If the desk is not ergonomic, it's an issue. If the chair is not ergonomic, it's an issue. So do you guys work a lot with ergonomic things?
Yeah,
It feels like that would go hand in hand with technology.
It's mandatory. If you buy something from Tecno or from an Italian company, you are in a faraway country, you are spending a lot of money at the end of the day. So it needs to be up to date with with the technology, with the economy, with all the things, with the environmental friendly. All these stuff are quite mandatory for us.
That leads me maybe to my next question as well. What is something that is the next generation technology? Can you mention something that?
Oh, that's something which will connect you better to the office. So I don't know. I don't have a product in my mind, but something which enable you to, thinking about the iPhone, which enable you to be in the office even if you are not. So something which can replicate your office, your desk, your dashboard, wherever you are, in Starbucks, at home.
There is still a chance to design something cool, Shad,
Yeah.
in collaboration with Tecno.
Why not?
We do it together, Valeria.
Yeah,
Do it
absolutely.
together.
But it's in 2020, Tecno started a project called IoT, Internet of Things. So even at before that, 2020. So it was a project meant to organize the spaces. So very simple. You choose your desk, you reserve your desk, reserve the meeting room, everything connected with your Outlook, blah blah. Now it's everyone can do it. But 5 years ago, 6 years, we were thinking already something like this. Then of course, when Microsoft started to be interested in this kind of stuff, it becomes useless for us to go on. So that project still exists, but has been sold to a software company. So they are developing it. It's going also quite well.
Oh, wow.
But things are changing, and it's not always physically changing.
Of course. I can't help but to ask you guys, like, how do you approach sustainability? It becomes a really, really big thing in the region. And I'm sure the same in Europe, maybe even bigger. So how does Tecno approach sustainability while designing workspaces?
Well, this is a good question, because unfortunately furniture is not, by definition is not a friendly,
Not as,
but-
yeah.
because you cut trees in order to build the furniture. So it's not so friendly. But the way you do it, it's true, if you think about it, it's quite true. The way you do it can be interesting, because you can produce in a more environmental friendly way. And in this part, we as a company are certified as green certified. We have international certification. We do green audit every year, blah blah. So the company itself, the way we produce, the way we we manage our supply chain, is the best green possible. The best, of course. You still cut
Yeah.
trees, so
Yeah.
it's not nice. And the way we project and we develop our products can be green or not green. Today is getting an issue. Until a few years ago, nobody was caring about it. So you were projecting something, and then after 10 years, 20 years, you just throw it away. Who cares? Think about airport benches. We do airport benches. It's a relevant part of our business.
Yeah.
But every 10, 20 years, airport, they change it, or they change it daily because someone broke, etc. They want to change the layout. So
is there a way to reuse it, or?
until a few years ago, not at all. I mean, yes and no. It wasn't engineered to be reused or to be environmental friendly. It was just engineered to be replaceable. But replace something doesn't mean you are recycling.
Yeah.
Now we have a project now going on with the famous architect studio for airports. The design concept started from start from the end. What happens at the end of the life cycle of this product? Can we recycle all? Yes. Easily? Yes. Quickly? Because if you have to disassemble 1,000 benches in an airport, it can either be quick, so you do it, or not quick, you don't do it. Because time is money.
Of course. Yeah.
So we started from the back, and now,
Designing toward.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way a design company like Tecno can be environmental friendly and sustainable. So we can be certified, and our product needs to be engineered to be sustainable.
Yeah. Very nice.
So you said you were working with a famous airport designer. I want to be an airport designer, guys.
Is
I'm
that
gonna-
one of your
I'm gonna-
bucket list?
I'm gonna become an airport
yeah.
designer.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah?
It's a nice job. It's a nice job.
But a big nice airport. There's coming a new one here in Dubai.
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
So next
gonna-
time when you arrive, you
You
might
can
have.
propose yourself. I think.
Yeah?
that's the-
if I get it, I promise I'll put techno benches.
It will be our pleasure, of course.
What's some of the key factors that you guys go in as a company when you would work with someone like this?
Well, most of the times these are public tenders because most of the project we do are at the end of the day tenders. It can either be public or not, but it's like a tender written with a lot of rules,
Of course, yeah.
regulations. So first of all, you have to be compliant with these people. Otherwise, you cannot participate. So this is not it's not a detail because we work every day as a company. Now we just finished to have an audit for gender. So this is something. It's not mandatory, but some people are starting to ask. So it's very important for us as a company to be compliant
Of course.
with all the regulation, even with the sustainability and all the rest. Then, of course, we go back of the history of Tecno. So we sit down with these people and say, you know what, you can work with many companies, bigger than us, smarter than us, or whatever. But we have experience. We are design company and engineering company, so we can put these two things together. So if you want to have an Audi, you go to Germans. If you want to have a Ferrari, you come to Tecno.
Interesting.
That's really that is very interesting. You know, when designing for workspaces to enhance productivity, wellness, how does Tecno approach wellness and productivity while actually producing their furniture?
Well, we follow again designers because they do the design and we produce the layout. But of course, having a lot of experience and a little bit of confidence with most of the designer we are working with, normally we can advise a little bit. Because when you design something, it's easy, you have a white
Canvas.
white paper.
Yeah.
With white canvas, you can do whatever you want. But experience lead us to understand the way you do your layout, the way you put the desks together, the distance between people, even the path people need to do in order to go from the desk to the toilet to the wherever they want
Would
to go.
designers listen to that? Would they listen to your advice, or
I think they
They would
would.
do their own.
There, if you put yourself in the right way, yes,
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
solve a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if the design is wrong, it's not that wrong, but it's not perfect. Then clients will regret with the designer. So if you help them to think about the detail that they never thought, which is okay, but if you put this table here or this meeting here, then everybody needs to walk in front of the others.
Passes,
It's
yeah.
not nice.
Yeah,
Why don't we
yeah.
move it there? Say, okay, you're right, you do it. So if you put yourself in the right way, normally they listen to you. But again, is experience and try to understand the needs of the people, because it's tricky. When you design something, it's always easy. I always say to designer, many designers come to us to propose products, and I got a nice table, I got a nice sofa, a nice chair, and I always say to them, it's easy to do in SolidWorks. It's very easy.
Yeah.
But then you have to think, will it work? Will it be stable? Will it be resistant, ergonomic? All those things comes from experience and to press yourself the right question.
Yeah.
And the same with the layouts.
Do you see the difference when you work with designers in Europe or American markets in comparison with Middle East?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's very, very different. European are very aristocratic designer, and I like it. They are very traditional. They know what to do. So you have to follow a little bit more European designer. They know what to do. That's true. It's true, but I like it. It's easy. It makes our job very easy. American are very pragmatic, so it's nice to work with them if you are the right company for that project, because they just want to get the result.
Yeah.
So if you are the right company, you never have problem with American designers. If you are not the right company, you notice by the moment you begin talking with them. You say, okay, well, maybe I'm not the right one. In this area, but also in all the eastern part of the world, I think designers are more willing to know and understand, which is nice because most of the time when we talk,
You mean willing to engage with the brand and
engage
open
with the brand,
to advice
understand.
and
They place you question like why you did like this, what was wrong with this other layout you didn't want to propose. So they are very curious, which is something as a company we appreciate because it makes your job a little bit more nicer. It's good. I think most of the designer I met in not only here but also in Asia, in far away Australia as well, they have a very nice way to interact with the company because they are curious. They want to know everything. They ask you details about the past you don't even know, and so why I don't know the details of the past of my company. So you go back on the books and study. So there are different approach definitely.
yeah, and you guys completed some stunning projects here in Middle East.
Yeah, we did. We did metro in Riyadh quite recently. Well, we did a job in Abu Dhabi last week. We are having other jobs coming over here, Melbourne Airport, just to talk about Australia, Toyota in Japan, many other. You have to think Tecno is making projects all around the world for more than 70 years. So
Yeah.
if I look at the list of the projects we did, it's like impressive to me as well. So I can mention a lot of them.
Can you mention one that sticks out a lot in the history of techno that you guys are talking about in the office and saying that this was a challenge and we made it
And we wouldn't do it again.
and we wouldn't do it?
No, we will do it again. There are so many. The MBK Tower in Kuwait, just to stay in the area, was a huge project, amazing.
Yeah.
It was a masterpiece of organization of the company. I wasn't there, so it'd be very good to do it. I remember the New York Library was a challenge. The Hearst Corporation in New York was a challenge.
What did you guys do in the New York library?
All everything, the sitting and
The desks.
table, the desk, all the way around. Then we did the Hearst Corporation in New York was an amazing project of European Parliament. One in Strasbourg, it was amazing project for tech. So again,
Yeah, the list goes on and on.
it
and on.
goes on and on. A 007 movie on the 60s. The office of the bad guy was Tecno. So
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
that was a good project.
I didn't know that.
That was a good
Nice.
project. I would do it again. Yes, I love
Of course.
007. So why not?
Giorgio, where are we within the work space and markets within 10, 15 years from now? And where is techno within
Where
that?
are we heading?
I'd be rich if I know it. I think,
Will AI take over and we won't have any workspaces?
no, I don't believe in AI. I don't believe in AI.
Interesting.
AI, it's always you programming something to do something. So I believe a company like mine, like Tecno, in the challenge for the future is to be more and more a service company, an engineering company, a partner company, rather than a company producing something. That's the future. Because if I think as an office, just a simple office, my mind goes to IKEA. Okay. If I think as an office, as an environment, as a place to be, my mind goes to someone who suggests me how to handle. So I want to be the one who suggests how to handle. That's the value. Okay. Making a desk is not a value. Suggesting how to handle, it can be a value in the next, maybe 20 years, 30 years, I don't know. That's the challenge.
And you don't believe in AI, you said.
I'm kind of kidding about AI and internet stuff. I don't even have Instagram. They're always kidding about me. I don't have Instagram. I know we are using it as well. Everybody's using, it's, of course, it's the future, but still is an instrument. So you always have to consider internet, AI, whatever comes over iPhone as an instrument. If you use iPhone to monitor your blood, your wealth, etc., you are a smart guy. If you use it to scroll Instagram all day long or continuously, you are not a smart guy. So it's a good instrument if you do it in the right way. So scroll it.
So it's just an extra instrument, in your opinion, that helps, like a phone or like a computer, an innovation, basically.
Innovation is something which can be used and pursued by few who understand innovation before the others. AI is something you can use freely everywhere. You go to ChatGPT and you got AI. So it's not an innovation today. It's an instrument.
Well, ChatGPT is actually not super accurate. You know that if you check some data, it gives you back. It's not always accurate. For example, if you ask something about techno right now, it might not give you the exact correct information of the history of techno as a brand, and it's not always. And then you say, oh, actually, that's the mistake, and then ChatGPT will tell you, oh, it is a mistake. Actually, it would be like that. So you have to always, you're right. You have to always be mindful and cross-check and use your,
Interesting.
Well, it's an instrument. Any instrument needs to be used in the proper way. So ChatGPT, AI, it's an amazing stuff. You can get any information you want. You can discover anything you want, but it's just an answer to your question. Then you have to connect the dots by yourself. You cannot, you cannot be the AI to connect your dots. Otherwise, it doesn't work. As you said, if the AI is wrong, you will be wrong. If the AI gives you a wrong information and you consider it as an instrument, you look at it and you say, okay, well, you're wrong. Like, think about the artificial intelligence. I was guessing with a friend of mine, if you take the 6 problem of millennium in mathematics, the 6 unsolved problems by the Clay Institute, and you ask one of these instruments to solve it, they will never. So they are instruments. They are not solving any problem. They're just instruments, so they can help you.
When I think of like a futuristic office space, it's the same as when you wake up in the morning and somebody talks to you and tells you, okay, your temperature is this and your blood pressure is that.
Exactly.
You come to the office and then you have all this like interactive desks that greet you and say, okay, so today we have this on the agenda and everything. This is what I think that we are going towards with AI and technology in general, because it will become very, very interactive, And I think also that well-being and just will take over. And as you said, we will have to have all the lounges, gym, spa, and maybe like a sleeping pods and all this as a part of the office environment.
Yeah, also, kitchenware, because if you are in the office and you want to get a couple of coffee or a tea, you don't want to have a machinery one, which is always so bad. You want to have a proper machinery giving you a healthy coffee or.
This is so important coming from Italian, right? Like.
But it's impressively, it's coming from US. It's more, people you wouldn't expect are asking more and more in terms of health. I love US, but I will answer in the same way you said.
US is asking for healthy.
Yeah, if you talk about coffee with an American, they know much more than me how to make it, the blend, everything, and they want to have it. So if you stay in the office for many hours in a day and you want to have a coffee, you don't look for an espresso, which I like, but you look for something healthy and well done in the way you want, etc. So the challenge is not for me to put an espresso on a table, is to integrate something healthy also in terms of kitchenware. We are talking with an architect about how to integrate the kitchen in the office now.
Does Tecno produce kitchenware as well?
We don't produce, but we integrate.
You integrate.
So we are working on a project with this architect in how to integrate in the best way in an office system which already exists some kind of kitchenware which are solving the problem of health food in the office, health coffee, etc. Then the machinery itself cannot be made by us. You go to the guys who are able
Yeah,
to
of course.
Yeah.
so we integrate. But at the beginning was like, okay, you just put a coffee machine there, but it's not so easy. It's a tough.
It's a challenge.
I will
challenge,
give
it's
you.
a
I will
challenge.
give you after the podcast. I will give you a direction.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
I appreciate.
Remind me. We installed a coffee machine now in clients. I used this brand before, a couple of years before, but it always turns into a success when that machine comes in. So remind me later.
With pleasure.
You have a flight. You're flying back to Milan.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not gonna keep him too long.
But we
There's-
have one last thing to
Yeah.
ask you.
What's the new one?
So each week we have the guest asking the next guest a question. So our next guest asked the question, what is the next, you have to help me on this one. What's the next innovative object in your
Yeah.
opinion?
And specifically like iPhone, AI, what would be innovative object to come?
For design?
For
furniture?
design, yeah. It's a
That's a nice question.
revolutionary, innovative object.
Again, I don't think it's going to be an object. I think it's going to be something more integrated than an object. What you said before. You wake up, you get a desk remembering you what to do,
More
etc.
personalized.
Yeah, just take out the
digital.
desk from what you said. So something which integrate you with the office, wherever you are. I don't know how and why and how to make it, but I think the future is that one. So you will not need to have all the stuff you have now in order to work, like iPhone, computer, video, all those things, agenda, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But it's going to be something integrating everything and enable you to work wherever you want to work.
Maybe it all sits in the glasses or something, and then we
Yeah.
have this, or I see the desk that comes up, and then you have everything in front of you, like
Definitely. It's going to be something like this.
Yeah.
It's going to be something like this.
So what would be your question for our next guest? Anything that comes to you design related, comes to your mind?
I'll take the chance of the question you just made to make the opposite one. What do you think is going to be the next object or item which is going to disappear from the scenario of design in the next years?
Oh,
That's
that sounds like a great question.
it's a good question. I mean, a lot of professions I would answer.
It's not an easy one. So
It's not an easy one, but in
it's a
terms
nice
of
one.
object.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
I'm always starting to think the question myself. So
Giorgio, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
My
for
pleasure.
joining us tonight.
you.
Yeah, it was very informative, and we'll see you in Milan.
and have a safe
pleasure.
flight back to
Thank you.
cold Milan. I'm sure it's cold.
I would
now.
rather stay here.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
much
sure
the
you
weather
would.
here today than the one
That's
in
why
Milan.
we are here.
It's a beautiful season.
I know.
Thank
you very
so
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.